Hello friends, hope you're having a wonderful day and or evening. My name is Eddie and welcome to Kelzak Bean. So a little discussion today about new music. Does it need CPR? Well, it's just my opinion. I think it needs two things. Now let me preface that I am not thinking of myself as any kind of expert on this. I'm sure it could be a couple-hour discussion. But one thing, there's a book called Outliers, and there's a phrase in there that says, in order to master something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours. And I'm paraphrasing. I've got that and more listening to music, and I'm sure many of you have too. So I'm going to speak from what I think maybe today's music is missing. I believe it is two things. I believe it is air, and I believe it is emotion. And I believe those two things make us human. So what do I mean by air? I'm talking about more in the recording phase. I think, when you sing into a microphone, it's going to move air because your voice is air, it hits the microphone. It's going to go through analog gear. It's going to go through transformers, resistors, capacitors, all that, nerdy stuff. But they heat up. And it depends on the day or different days. I mean, it will sound different. But it's got air. It's moving. I got a microphone here. So if I have this microphone up against, say, a speaker for a guitar, when that speaker starts vibrating for the sound, it's now going to push air to the microphone. And that microphone is then going to receive it. And there's a diaphragm inside here, and it begins to move from the air pushing it. And then, of course, it travels through a cable, then goes to the analog gear, and it's going to go through that circuitry that we were talking about. But that's the air that I'm talking about. The other thing, I think, which is the most important, is the emotion. So what I mean by that, it's not just how someone sings, but a performance. I think that's also in the recording phase. If I play the guitar and I play 4 bars, whatever, for the first verse, and I'm like, great, let's just cut and paste and send that to every verse. Well, it's going to sound like that for every verse. Now, anyone that's been a musician or anything, you will know that even if you played in a garage band or anything, you will know that if you're playing together and you get all the way through a song and you're at the end, man, you could be digging into the strings, man, you feel the emotion. You're playing together. That's an emotional journey. Even singing a lyric, if you have the word "the," say in the 3rd verse, in order to get to the emotional value of that word for those lyrics, you have to go the whole way through that journey to get it. Now, if somebody just came and sang that one little section over and over and over to get it right, well, there's not going to be emotion there. You have to go, I think, through that journey because those lyrics were written with emotion. Those were somebody's thoughts, and they wrote it down. So that's a journey they have to go through. I think so it's in the recording. I think that's what everything's missing. Is there good music out there? Absolutely. Is there people still recording like that? Absolutely. Look at Adele, Billie Eilish. I mean, there's tons more. They are recording. They are in studios doing it. But they're not allowing, they're keeping their creativity. They're not allowing the computer to become the creativity. I think the computer and the software we have, which has replaced the tape machine, let's call it what it is. It's a great tool and it's awesome. It makes great for editing. I use it here. I record to a computer and I edit with the software. So I don't physically have to cut the tape, paste it together to get everything. I mean, that's how they did it. That's where cut and paste come from. So there's a way to use the tool, but I don't want the tool to take over the creativity. I hope that's making sense. I look at it like if you have a hammer. You have a hammer, it's a tool to hammer a nail. Then you get pretty good at that. Then you say, I might want a nail gun. And the nail gun will allow you to be more proficient at putting nails into wood or whatever you're nailing together. But I don't think there's going to be a point where you're going to let the nail gun decide where the nail goes, or you're going to let the nail gun decide how the house is built. You're going to let the tool be the tool that allows you to be proficient at getting that task done. So I think the computers, that's what we're using in the software. It's a tool, but I think it's gone to a point where it's now becoming like, well, let's let the computer be the creative side of it. So there's that fine line. Now, that's my take on it. I believe that there are good stuff out, and there's a place like you want to make the beats, and that EDM world, and you're going to make a loop, and it's going to. I get it. That is needed, and it's great music. It fits, but then they're using it as a tool because they are creating the beat and they're allowing the computer to do that. But I think, let me know in the comments. I mean, I think I'm walking that fine line, but I'm not knocking today's technology. I want the technology to help make the music good and allow us to make it easier. But I don't want to take away from the air. I don't want to take away from the emotion, because every song that's written has some kind of, whether it's happy, sad, or whatever. I just don't want that emotion to be lost because of we're trying to find a quick way to make it happen and use the computer. I think that the software is the tool, and just learn to use that tool to help you with your proficiency into capturing the air and the emotion. And that's just my take. So, let me know. I have thick skin. If you think I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. I'm good. Yeah. If you like this content, the token, hit the like button, click subscribe, all that. So I hope everyone has a great day and or evening. I'll talk with you later.